Time now for Sid Sixero. This is where I get 60 seconds to talk about stuff. Thank you. Yesterday was a tough one for fans of the Toronto Blue Jays. GM Ross Atkins said goodbye to outfielder Teoscar Hernandez. He was dealt to Seattle. In exchange, the Jays get a reliever named Erik Swanson. He's coming off a very good season, and he can strike guys out. Plus, they get a 21-year-old Canadian pitcher named Adam Mako. Here's my take. Jays did the right thing. He was entering the final year of his contract. His offensive numbers tailed last season. He's not a good defensive player, might be a worse base runner. And if you're ever going to move George Springer to right field in an effort to prolong his career, then Teoscar had to go or find a new spot. There's also this. I'm not a fan of teams keeping their core together when there's a massive failure. And losing to Seattle the way they did, with respect, this past October, was a massive failure. That clubhouse cannot be allowed to feel comfortable. This move helps in that regard. And maybe I'm the mean guy, but I like that. Keep people on their toes. Shi Davidi of Sportsnet always keeps people on their toes. Shi, good morning. Great to see you. I didn't mind this at all. What were your thoughts yesterday?
I thought it was an interesting deal, and I thought Teoscar Hernandez was probably a candidate to be traded at the end of the season, and for some of the reasons that you mentioned. You know, he's entering the final year of his contract. The fact that extension talks a couple of years back didn't really get anywhere, and if the Blue Jays wanted to change some of the dynamic, give themselves an opportunity to add some balance or add some different elements to their batting order, that seemed like a likely spot for them to do it in. So I thought the return was interesting for them. I thought there might be a bit more of a like for like type of deal where, you get a player of similar control back, but the Blue Jays turned 1 year of Teoscar Hernandez into 3 seasons of Erik Swanson and potentially 6 seasons of Adam Mako if he's able to keep his health in line and continue developing in the minor leagues.
Shi, a couple things. Do you get the sense that this is the tone that Toronto's offseason will take in terms of getting some business done early, being aggressive, and with that, what's the next name you're really looking at potentially to be moved into the organization that currently is not in the organization?
Well, I still think they have a lot of options open, so I don't think there's one specific name because they can go a number of different ways. But I think this deal was important to set them up in a couple of ways. One, in combination with the designation for assignment of Raymel Tapia and Bradley Zimmer on Tuesday, the Blue Jays have opened up about $19 million worth of spending room. And that's an asset and gives them an opportunity to really make impact in a number of different ways. As well, they've also opened up actual at-bats and playing time on their roster, and that's going to capture the attention of free agents who beforehand might have said, how am I going to fit this puzzle? And now they can really see and understand the different ways that they could get into the lineup here. So I think the Blue Jays can go a few different ways. Obviously, they still do need some starting pitching. They probably are going to further address the bullpen as well. And how that plays out versus their attempts to get a left-handed hitter, be it through free agency or through trade, I think that can go either way at this point.
It should be an interesting offseason. I think it was an interesting start, no doubt about it. Shi Davidi, Sportsnet, follow him on Twitter. It's going to be a very eventful next couple of months and weeks for the Blue Jays. Shi, appreciate you. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good one.